Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Royball here with IT Colorado. Today we're here to talk about some cybersecurity core principles, the things that we put at the center of what we provide to our clients. So let's talk a little bit about the first core principle. So we start everything looking at proactive security. And what this means is that it's all about staying ahead of the cyber threats instead of just reacting to, when something bad happens. So, to be honest, by the time a breach has occurred, the damage has already been done. So what can we do to minimize the mitigation process? And what does proactive security actually look like? Here are some key strategies that we help implement for our clients. The first one is advanced threat detection and monitoring. Cyber threats, they don't take a day off, and neither should your security. So we use real-time monitoring and AI-driven detection to watch for suspicious activity and shut down potential threats before they escalate. The second one would be strong access controls. So think about your business like a building. Would you give every employee a key to the server room? Probably not. Same logic applies to your network. So we help implement multi-factor authentication. And you probably hear us talk about this in almost every one of our videos. And this is to help ensure that only authorized users get access. There's also role-based access control. So employees only have access to the data that they need and nothing more. That's also referred to as zero trust. We implement strong password policies. And yes, that means no more password 123 or sticky notes on the monitors. We recently went into a client's and they had labeled some stuff that shouldn't have been labeled. So we had to have a little talk about what that security means. It's not just about what's on the computer. It's about what's around the computer too. And where are you keeping track of these passwords? There's also regular security updates and patch management. Outdated software is a hacker's best friend. So, excuse me, sorry about that. Every system, every app, every firewall, it needs regular updates to patch vulnerabilities. Let me just turn this off real quick. I appreciate your patience. And then we make sure that our client systems stay up to date automatically so that they're not left exposed. We use endpoint protection and email security. So with more people working remotely, laptops, mobile devices, they're prime targets. And so are the wireless networks that they attach to. So we deploy endpoint protection, encrypted connections, and phishing-resistant email security to keep data safe wherever employees are working. And proactive security, it's all about making sure that the bad guys never get a chance to break in. And if they try, they hit a brick wall instead of your data. Now let's move on to the second core protection, which is business continuity. So even with the best security measures in place, breaches, system failures, and even human errors, they can still happen. And when they do, you really do need a plan to keep your business up and running. So a cybersecurity incident shouldn't mean that your business grinds to a halt. Here's how we ensure business continuity for our clients. We provide reliable data backups. If you only have one copy of your data, you're one step away from disaster, and that's why we set up automated, encrypted backups that are stored in multiple locations, both on-site and in the cloud. There's also version control to restore files even if they've been accidentally deleted or encrypted by ransomware. We have disaster recovery planning. So if a cyber attack or a system failure or some sort of other natural disaster strikes, what's your plan? We help businesses create clear step-by-step response plans so that they know exactly what to do to get back online fast. Then we have secure remote access and cloud solutions. So with more employees working from different locations, it's very crucial to have a secure way for them to access your business systems without opening up vulnerabilities. So in that regard, again, we implement zero trust access policies, so every connection is verified. We implement VPNs and encrypted cloud storage for safe remote work. There's multi-site redundancy, so if one system goes down, another one can take over. Most of this is handled either through the Google Workspace or the Microsoft 365 infrastructures. And then the business continuity is about making sure that no matter what happens, whether it's a cyber attack, a hardware failure, or a power outage, that your business keeps running without losing valuable data or customers. Now let's talk about the third core value that we run by, and that's, let's talk about risk reduction. And this is where our cybersecurity risk assessments really come into play. This is all about identifying and fixing the weak points before a cyber criminal can exploit them. Security is not 100% perfect, but the more layers of defense that you have, the harder it is for hackers to succeed. So here's how we reduce risk for businesses: security assessments and penetration testing. You can't fix what you don't know is broken. We simulate real world type attacks to test defenses and identify security gaps before the bad guys do. We help with employee cyber awareness training. 90% of cyber attacks start with human error. So even the best firewalls won't stop an employee from clicking a bad link, which now brings the problem internal. So we train teams to spot phishing emails and social engineering tricks, to use strong passwords and to avoid reusing credentials, to recognize red flags in everyday online interactions. And again, the zero trust security model. The old way of thinking was if it's inside our network, that it must be safe, and that's no longer true. So we help implement a zero trust approach, which means that every request is verified before granting access, that minimal privilege access, employees only get access to the systems that they need, and then continuous monitoring for unusual behavior. Risk reduction, it's not just about stopping the attacks, it's about making your business a much harder target so that the attackers can just move on to easier prey. So that's what we got today about the core values and principles that we try to implement when protecting our clients. You're always free to send me a message. You can reach us at itcolorado.com/book a call. Schedule a 15 to 20-minute session. We'll talk to you about some of your cybersecurity needs and what you might do to start implementing them. Leave a comment on this video. Send me a direct message through LinkedIn or Facebook. So I appreciate your time. Enjoy the